Hello, everyone, and welcome to my very first chat room for prestigious publication Pharma Bio World. I'm Gauri Chaudhary, co founder of Brand Inner World and author of Amazon's hot release, The Perfect Pill 10 Steps to Build a Strong Healthcare Brand. In this very series of chat room, it is my pleasure to introduce you to various experts from pharma industry and have meaningful conversations with them. Today, I have Mr. Pawan Kulkarni, General Manager, Corporate Strategy with JB Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals. Pawan has over 20 years experience in advertising, sales, marketing in various pharmaceutical organizations. He has handled multiple portfolios in the past. He is currently into new product and portfolio planning, PR, market analytics, and most importantly, digital media development for JB Chemicals. Pawan has actually warned me not to call him an expert, but call him a digital enthusiast. So, Pawan, I'm going to stick to that. And so truly, because Pawan is very passionate about digital. And I think word Pavan would be probably very synonymous to passion. And in today's world, when COVID has almost changed everything, that we really need that enthusiasm and passion so that we develop our own new expertise in the new coming era of post-COVID. So let me welcome Pavan to the very first session of Pharma Bio World chat room to discuss digital transformation in sales and marketing. So welcome, Pavan.
Great, thank you, Gauri. It's a pleasure always to interact with you. In fact, I should say I'm half done with your book, and still going through that. In fact, when you said passion about digital, to be very frank, whether it is a passion by choice or today entire pharma world is taking digital as a passion by force. You see, because nobody was in depth, going in depth with digital a few months back. Suddenly, with things changing haywire, everybody is forced to go digital. So it is not everybody is entire industry today is passionate about what you call digital. Having said, thanks to you and thanks to Pharma Bio World for having me on board for this discussion. It's a great pleasure and honor to be with you.
Pawan, I mean, you very rightly said that digital is not something new. Pharma industry has been using digital as a medium. Also, digital transformation across functions has been happening. As a healthcare brand consultant and coach, I was seeing digital initiatives almost coming in each and every brand plan, the annual brand plans that brand managers make. And yet industry was looking at it as a supplement to the efforts of various efforts that were happening. The reasons are also obvious. Today's medical representatives is really going through a hard time. If you look at the way they travel for something like 1 hour or wait for multiple hours, so for every 60 minutes that he travels or he waits, he just gets 1 minute in a doctor's clinic. Another thing is that the cost of call is increasing. I mean, if I look at some average numbers today, it's around 700 to 1,000 rupees per call, heavily impacting the reach and frequency objectives of the brand. This COVID has given a fillip to the entire digital initiative and it has almost become a buzzword. We are using these words like digitalization, digitization, digital transformation, and sometimes we are using them absolutely as synonyms. So while digitization is basically converting analog to digital formats, digitalization is a step ahead and it actually uses digital technologies of doing business. And digital transformation is yet a level ahead where it about changing the entire process and very importantly, changing the mindset and culture of the organization. So, Pawan, if I ask you a simple question, I mean, I know the answer is not simple, but where are we in pharma industry? Are we digitizing our typical visual aid copies into digital formats, or are we digitalizing and using a digital process to reaching out and doing business? Or are we into digital transformation where across the pharma industry, the culture and mindset has now become towards digital. And if you can tell me what's happening more in sales and marketing functions with respect to the entire digitizing to digital transformation. So what's your take?
In fact, this has been the talk of town. In fact, so many of discussions are revolving around this. Let me tell you very honestly, and it's like nothing new, but something which you are asked to stop doing, which you have been doing since last 4 to 5 decades, and suddenly it has grounded. Now the field people, in fact, I started as a medical rep as well. When you ask the field people who are, normally usually have a habit of being in the field, and ask them to, tie them up in the house and ask them to do the calls and get the sales. So it's more of a confusion. So even the companies, not only the management, the marketing, even the sales people, all were having that tough time earlier. Having said this, things went into a little bit, by virtue or by force, people started using the digital platform. Thankfully, we are having all these video networking platforms and all. So what happened is the entire industry typically went into digital. Everybody started doing the same thing. Now, pharma always is told to be having a herd mentality. If one starts doing something, everyone. I think I need not dwell upon these points, because too many WhatsApp messages, too many webinars, all are doing a similar thing. So it's a more of a default network which currently is running. Having said this, there are couple of things for sales and marketing. If you see sales per se, apart from other things, one very important thing which I'm seeing here is for salespeople, uh, it is opening up the box of worms. Reason is, among sales, who are suffering today? Only those field people are suffering who never had a good relation in one-to-one discussion, who were in a routine job of a medical rep or promotion. They never bothered to, kind of have a relation with the doctor. They were never been able to build the relation. So at the end of the day, what happened? Suddenly, when there was a cutoff, if you call somebody, the doctor will not know who is he. So those people who never built a good relation, or they never upskilled themselves during the physical one-to-one, they are suffering. And secondly, see, whatever amount of technology comes, it can't replace a human smile in sales.
Absolutely.
It can't replace a human smile. Tomorrow, you might have much more digital elements or technology coming up. It can't, replace a human smile. So that is the most important thing. Whether even if you talk, you can hear somebody smiling. So that is the first thing in the sales which we always were taught. So those people in field who never had that relation, so they are suffering. That is a crux of this thing. Today they are also struggling. Having said this, on the marketing end, loads of things which I need not go in detail, but many of the things which are there, like how to dwell on the content, how to communicate to the doctor, what should be my touch point, what should be my element of the communication. See, understand the whole thing. Whatever is changed in the behavior. See, medicine has not changed, anatomy has not changed, physiology has not changed. So what has changed? The doctor doesn't want to meet the rep can't go out and meet the doctor, and patient doesn't want to meet the doctor. So there is a risk everywhere. So all the three, if you put all the three triangles, and the fourth triangle, which is more important, the chemist, the whole square of pharma, chemist, customer and doctor, none of them want to meet each other. So the whole trouble is, whole system has changed, the whole thinking. So whole changes are in the behavior. So basically everything remains the same. Just because the change in the behavior, the things need to be different. And that is where the technology will help us.
Absolutely. I mean, very valid point. I think, Pawan, you said very interestingly, is those who were bonding with doctors didn't find this time as a major problem. Typically because the ways of doing things might have changed, but the essentially what is important to do has remained unchanged. Very typically, I mean, we say in high-tech market, what we need is high touch. So those who already
High touch.
high touch,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Very
those
nice.
who had high touch could easily ride over technology, and to that extent could really ride over any kind of challenge. Having said that, Bhavan, do you think people are still using analog mindset and just trying to ride it on some digital technology? Like, for example, simply having a visual aid getting converted into a digital ad or something is a simple, just changing format. But in reality, the content and the way you do it is absolutely same. So it's analog, just put into a digital format. Is that happening?
And I'll give you an example. I was a month back. I was speaking to one of my senior friend who happens to be a physician.
Mm-hmm.
He was irritated, not because of me, because we were generally talking how things are and all in his hospital, and he has a multi-story hospital over there. I think around 50 bedded. He was irritated what pharma is doing, because one example he gave, somebody, I don't want to name the company, somebody had sent him a 50-page PDF file for promotion which is on an iron brand. He was irritated saying that what will I do reading a 50-page on an iron brand. So the whole thinking right now is converting a visual aid into a typical PDF format and uploading, or whether you put a visual aid in form of an animated PowerPoint and put some music. That is not digital. In fact, there are many examples. I mean, what is digital? I'll tell you my own example. In December, I wanted to buy a car. It was a very flash of a decision. I went to a showroom here and I was inquiring, and I just Googled for some features. I was just Googling. By the time I came here, my Facebook had an invite request for that model of a car. I never went. I was just Googling for the features, price and all, some XYZ thing. Within a couple of hours, I got an invite on Facebook for that page. So that is digital. That is personalization. Normally, what we see in terms of personalization or anything is putting a name on a pen or a nameplate or a book and give it. That is personal. Personalization is go to that level. If you are searching something, if you're a doctor tomorrow, that might be one of the futuristic aspects. Your doctor is searching for something on some site. There will be technology, and there are many technologies available today, but pharma is may not be using it or may not be aware that you can target that doctor particularly to that content later with your brand. So that level that is digital.
And our industry is all about personalization and building relations. So we had a human touch there, the representative who could do this personalization in his communication by understanding doctor, understanding his interest, understanding his relevance to his practice, and he could have kind of personalized the entire communication or conversation with it. But over a period of time, somewhere we lost that art and it started becoming more like parroting. Digital actually has once again opened our eyes to this kind of personalization, where you can try and understand what your customer really wants, and therefore together in physical format and in a digital format, what is required is just putting name of the doctor on a pen and calling it personalization. But as you very rightly said, understand his interest, understand the context, understand the
Absolutely.
and cater to it.
In fact, even today, in last few months, many of the companies which activities or anything, that was one perspective for marketing. Normally what earlier used to happen, it is the same way of thinking. The digital or digitization or digital transformation, all three are different words, as you rightly mentioned. First, understand that. Secondly, it is the typical mentality we in pharma has is, if I am coming up with XYZ molecule, I want to be the first in the market. That is, if the same mentality doesn't work in digital. Reason, I'll give you an example. The laptops which we are using is not from the laptop which was first designed. I think if I'm correct, Toshiba was the first company to come up with a laptop. But where are they today? I mean, no Toshiba, nobody knows. I mean, they may not be the leaders. Second, if the race should not be with the companies that I want to do this webinar or this particular digital activity first. In digital, what will happen? Currently, people are burning fingers, ki what will work, what will not work. God knows what will work. So it is very difficult to predict, and it is digital. Imagine every day there is some improvement. Second, it might end up happening. I won't be surprised if tomorrow some XYZ company, which is not even in the top 100 ranking, come up with a very good digital technology and become a big hit. So it is not in digital, it is not who is the first to do, unlike pharma thinking. It is who is the apt one, who is the right, what right platform you have bought. It may be later also. So whatever we are currently doing might even wash out. Something new might come up, and that something new might be bought up not by a big company. It's a small company. So that is how the thinking reorientation with marketing has to be there. And more important, right? What you said. Don't push your idea. You have an idea, so make it digital and send it. Ask the doctor. Ultimately, you are going to meet him. What does he want? Then go the reverse way. Rather go pushing the ideas from your side to the sales, to the doctors. It is better if we ask the doctors what are the elements they require. Then think on a reverse and do a little bit thing, because digital is a very huge platter. I mean, not everything is required. Not all the brands require digital.
If that's what is the future, and if one looks at digital being one of the very important part of the entire sales and marketing journey, how do you see future? Is it here to stay? I mean, let me ask you a simple question. A lot of people tell us that ye sab corona jayega, everything will change and we'll be back to what we were doing. So let's wait for some time and manage the times. Or you think that whatever digital piloting, experimenting that has happened will go to the next level and it will stay here in much better format and probably will have digital transformation in its true sense?
I mean, what you summarized, very interesting question, has different segments. One is how to overcome the current pain points. The pain points currently is how to reach out to the doctor for the sales. The pain point for a marketer or a brand manager today is how to reframe the same content and yet make it visible, because digital doesn't come only with the advantages, it also comes with the disadvantage. And the biggest disadvantage is the amount of time your doctor gives during the physical call was maybe 1 minute. In digital, he might give even 10 seconds. So that is the biggest disadvantage. So a marketer, a pharma brand manager has to be very sharp in his messaging. Another thing, very interestingly, which I was speaking to, almost like what I concluded from my speaking to you or other friends in the industry. The biggest pain point here is going digital is, see, the people in the company who are digital savvy are not the decision makers. And those who are the decision makers in the company are not digital savvy, or they might not be in comprehension with the details. So that has to be a bridge. So that is where the gap is coming in terms. So another element, I'll give you an example. Remember demonetization. During the demonetization, suddenly at 8 o'clock in the evening, your high denomination notes were gone. And what happened? There was money, but there was no medium. So medium became those POS, that point of sales machines, or what they call as a card swiping machines. Many of the doctors or chemists, let us limit the discussion to doctors and chemists. So many of these doctors and chemists didn't have a card swiping machine. So suddenly there was a surge in card swiping machines. So what happened? What happened was, after the normalcy came back, those card machines still remained. The Paytm, the online wallets or the digital wallets. Suddenly there was a surge. They are not gone today. Today we don't have any issue of the physical notes, but they have remained. So what happens in crisis? What is the learning which I take from this is, in any crisis, whatever changes in habit or anything, they will leave certain amount of residual effect. even after the crisis is over. So what are those residual effects? So we need to understand that first. The biggest, as I told, is behavior. One biggest aspect. Behavior, for example, today we were using WhatsApp, but we were not even using the video call. But today we are forced to use a Zoom call or any other platform like WebEx or Microsoft Meet. So many of them have cropped up. They were there, but we were not using. So tomorrow it might be possible that the doctors might not attend your physical CMEs. Because to attend a physical CME, he has to waste 2 hours of traveling, come there, 1 hour of this thing, then dinner, and then go back. So 4 to 5 hours. And the CME is of almost half an hour of an hour. So doctors might want to continue attending a good seminar on a digital platform rather than this. So this is one thing which I'm trying to see. Another aspect which I think all the companies have initiated, which we used to do the review, number of calls you have done for the medical reps or the sales people. Today, the SAP system, the Salesforce automation system, today they are having a feature of whether it is a physical call or a digital call. That was an immediate change which happened. So this will be a part and parcel. This is going to remain, right? And rather it will go much better. So my bottom line in terms of saying this is, you see, I want to quote this Yuval Noah Harari's statement, very nice statement. There were 3 phases in the world, in the past, who had power. Earlier, those who had land, money, like kings and all, they were in power. Then the second phase, the industrialization, happened. Those people were in power who had manufacturing capacity or a reach out capacity. Now, you see all these companies, so many digital companies which were non-existent 20 years back, now the power center is data. Data is a power center. So those who have apt data, good data, intelligent data, or the insights, they will be in power. And rightly said, I mean, recently we saw the news of Reliance and Amazon coming in the e-pharmacies. They understand your data. Tomorrow that will be, imagine the amount of data they have, that will be the biggest advantage they'll get through getting patients, and that to chronic patients. So digital is here to stay.
Digital is here to stay, and data is the new power. So how do we deal with that data? How do we centralize this data is another very important part of digital transformation. So thank you so much, Pawan. And on this journey in digital transformation, there is a lot to do, but I'm going to take your word that we all have to be digital enthusiasts to do it. And across the value chain, there has to be digital thinking, and that's the only way digital transformation is possible. So at the culture level, mindset level, process level, business model level, we all have to think digital and supplement efforts of our salespeople and the marketeers who are physically working and get the best of both the worlds. So thank you so much.
I thank you, Gauri, for having me here, having a very nice, interesting discussion. In fact, I got some more ideas right now. And in fact, thanks to Pharma BioWorld to having this interesting session. In fact, I like that idea of having Pharma BioWorld in a e-magazine with a video content inside. So it is a very interesting idea. So this is how ideas come. So my final word, I'll tell you, doctors are wanting to consume a good content. So as pharma industry, we should give them good content and not go down of content. So that's my final word.
It was wonderful meeting to the entire audience here through Pharma BioWorld. So signing off and see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.